Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
So we are here with Stu Allan. I'm delighted to say he's one of the kings of the North as far as the rave scene goes. But we don't know necessarily that much about him as a person. So now we're going to do so as we rifle him with our quick fire round. Now you'll be all right, mate. It's fine. Full name. And I know that if we spell it wrong, it's something that's very irritating to you. And I say that as someone who never gets his name spelled right, ever.
It's bizarre. I don't know what it is. It's like an infliction of people who want to spell it right, but I've done it wrong again. It's mental. Even my teachers at school got it wrong. And then, you know, you go to all these sort of so-called official. I even had a credit card sent to me in the post, and there it was, EN at the end. And I'm like, sent it back, cut it in half. You know, it's just very odd, very odd. It's a bit like spelling Carl Cox with a K. It would never happen. You know what I mean?
So it was with an AN. Do you have any middle names, Stu?
No, just Stuart to my mother, Allan. That's it.
Of course. And I know it's rude to ask a lady her age, but how old are you?
I don't know. Just ask me why. I'm in my 50s now, which a lot of people would have already known anyway. But yeah,
of course.
Just getting on a bit.
If you're going to be a rave DJ, prominent rave DJ in the 90s, unfortunately, just simple mathematics means you are going to be around that age, doesn't it? You know, it doesn't matter what a career you've had, mate, by that at that age. So, where did you grow up?
I actually grew up and born in Anglesey, which is, for those who don't know, is a smallish island in North Wales.
Okay.
I was born and bred over there. Lived there for the first 20 years of my life over there, which is fine. You know, nice place to grow up, I suppose. You know, a bit sheltered. You know, not exactly street cred for quite some time, but yeah, you know, no complaints about living there. It's a gorgeous place. You know.
Particularly with some of the music you played, I imagine there weren't that many people on Anglesey playing that. But again, we're going to come to that in a bit. Where do you live? Where do you live now?
I live just outside of Stockport now. I've lived in different places. Lived right in the city centre, the south of Manchester, even into the High Peak district area, and now I'm settled a bit more and just outside of Stockport. Yeah.
Okay.
But near Manchester, that's good enough.
Of course. Or is it Manchester though, or is it Stockport?
Well,
it's great at Manchester.
I don't give a. Yeah, I don't care. But it's Manchester to me, really. You know what I mean? It's only up the road.
Of course. And I know you have a wife because we've just heard you calling out for her. What's your relationship status? Married?
Yes. Finally did it 6 years ago.
Oh, congratulations! How long had you been together before that?
Only about 2 to 3 years, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. And do you have any children?
I do, from a previous relationship. Yeah, she's 21 now.
Okay. And what's your favourite non-rave tune?
Oh, God, there's millions.
I'm sure there are.
I don't know, because I like too many different styles. To me, it's all music. It's either good or it's not, or whether you like it or you don't. So, yeah, I just like so many styles, and those who know me.
What's your funeral tune then? Not that you're going to die, Stu. I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not the bearer of bad news here. I mean, we are all going to die. We are all going to die. What would be your funeral tune? Because that's probably your favourite non-rave tune.
Oh God, yeah. I should have thought about this, shouldn't I? I played the last tune of the Friday show last week. Was the Prodigy Fire. So we'll just go with that for now and probably change my mind by the time it happens.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you
fire. Yeah. Although by the time it happens, I'm afraid to say, Stu, it's too late. You need to decide it now. That's the whole point.
No, I'll write some instructions.
And and I know you've met loads of famous people because of your role and your job on the radio and that sort of thing. Yeah. Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
I suppose, oh God, none of these are. Well, I did, obviously interview when people like the Prodigy and everybody was up and coming, which are brilliant. But they weren't even really famous then. That was a weird thing. But But yeah, I suppose it was before all that the housey stuff. They used to throw all these big names to interview and promote their new albums and whatever. And I suppose the one that really I really enjoyed the most was Barry White.
Wow.
You know, and younger people might have to look up that, but you know, they should know who he is. But yeah, there's loads. You know,
Well, frankly, if you don't know who Barry White is,
I know.
What world are you living in?
You'd be surprised. But yeah, he was fantastic in a very swish hotel in London, and yeah, we just talked for. You had a half-hour slot. We got on so well. It was you know nearly 2 hours, and we just chatted and chatted about his favorite music and you know things like that. It was just amazing. And,
You must have loved that.
Absolutely, and yeah, That was probably the main one that I actually was pinching myself a little bit as the interview was going on. Yeah, really good. Really
okay. Who's the rudest celebrity you've ever met?
Rudest, God. They've all been relatively polite, I think, but yeah, I did have one or two. There's a couple of boring ones which really surprised me, and this again was from the way back days, and he was a guy called Jelly Bean. You know, lots of people would have heard of him, and maybe not again. He actually used to go out with Madonna and whatever, but he did mix and everything, and lots of great tracks. So I'm not going to diss him for that, but it was a great, you know, I was all lively and everything. He just sat there. He just couldn't give a shit at all about anything I was saying. So I thought, oh, okay, then. So that went in the bin. No,
hey, we've all interviewed people like that, mate. I tell you, it's really rather remarkable. I suppose the thing is, it's a bit unfair, isn't it? So this is quite interesting because I'm talking to you now. You're the first person that's been a proper radio presenter who we've had on, right. and I'm from a radio presenting background, presented on Talk Sport. And the funny thing is with with an interview is that you might just catch them on a bad day. Like they might not be really boring. They might just be like, you know, I've done 5 of these interviews already, and I'm done with this. And unfortunately,
I know what you mean. But when you've got like an important record to promote, and you're doing a 10-minute, quarter of an hour interview with somebody who could promote it further, I'd show a bit more interest personally. But there you go. I've never forgotten it anyway. So.
Yes, indeed. And tell us a secret about yourself that will surprise people.
Oh God. Sorry for the long gap thinking, right. Everybody.
Any weird hobbies that you've never shared or anything like that?
No. Yeah, you know, people expect you to be purely musical, I suppose, and obviously you need to switch off, don't you? And trying to think of that. Yeah, I suppose not really any secrets or anything. But no, oh God, I'm really sorry.
Right.
But yeah, I would just go to what I do to switch off. You know, during the summer or whatever. A holiday for me would be is what I do every year, and I have done since the rave days. Is to come away for a minimum of 2 weeks and absolutely make sure where I go does not have a nightclub. And, you know, it's impossible to get drawn in, you know what I mean? Like tempted. So by the end of the holiday, I'm going, cool, I'm ready for it again. But yeah. So
brilliant.
Food, sun, and Macarena.
Great. And what is your what would you say is your best quality?
But I give respect to people who deserve the respect. I think that's important. I'm always polite until I don't, you know, until I'm given a reason not to be. I think it's how I was brought up, I suppose. So you just, I'm hopefully people who have met me will verify that, you know, and it's not an act. I
will say that Paulo, for instance, who we've interviewed in the past, Gary Viberlite, they all, and you know, they're promoters and they're used to dealing with a range of people, some trickier than others, I would imagine, and they have nothing but warm words to say about your approach to them and life. So there you go. So I think that probably does ring true. And okay, we've blown smoke up your bum, but what's your worst quality?
My worst quality is I suppose. I'll tell you one thing that does annoy some people, but it shouldn't do really, is that I gave up smoking back in 1996. This could be a secret thing. Here we go. I gave up smoking back in 1996 after smoking quite a bit, and never touched anything since. But I'm still addicted to nicotine, so I still chew. When this is what people go, oh, he's always chewing when he's DJing and all this kind of thing. And I still chew Nicorette chewing gum after all these years. Yeah, and if I don't have it, I'm still addicted to the nicotine. Don't have fags, never again will I smoke. But yeah, I'm still on those. And some people take the piss, you know, they know about it. But yeah, there's a bit of a
how interesting. I think we've had I think we've had a question on that, which just shows how closely people seem to be watching you.
Yeah, they stare at you. Yeah, they stare. They like to see how you chew, how you drink water from a bottle, and how you scratch your head and adjust your headphones. They like to see that as well.
People are strange, aren't they, sometimes? And what one thing, finally, apart from COVID, because that's obvious, would you change about the world if you had the choice?
Stop being twats to each other, be a bit nicer, and accept people for what they are. You know, no matter what their colour, what religion they follow. I don't follow any religion, but I respect that they might do. And just treat each other a bit nicer. You know, that would be a fantastic change, you know, if everybody did that. Might sound a little bit cliched at times, but no, I think everyone, you know, stop racism and all this sort of thing just because they're a bit different, you know?
Yeah. Mate, I think that's a great that's a great mantra for the world. And thank you very much.
X amount of pressure, X amount of raw.